Hey everyone, I'm just here to do a quick video because today is August 3rd and my birthday is September 3rd, so it has been a whole month that I've been 30, and I don't know that it's actually been 30 days, but I'm going to call this 30 days after 30. So one of the things that I have learned that I just want to talk about is that I realized through this journey of long suffering of dealing with major depressive disorder for 14 years, I realized that I deal with both the medical component of depression and then the emotional depression that people talk about typically in sermons, or typically when people just say like I'm depressed, or like, when a situation or circumstance happens. That's emotional depression. It's usually not a medical aspect to that, and your brain is not altered severely to the point where you need a medical diagnosis that could be considered a brain defect. So anyway, that's a side note tangent. So there's medical depression and emotional depression. So anyways, I have medical depression. I've had it for 14 years. And I've had regular ups and downs in life that everybody has had, which attach the emotional depression, but I never focused too much on the emotional depression because the medical depression took over. I realized a huge part of my emotional depression is because I'm depressed. Now, that may not make sense unless you understand mental health or have a diagnosis yourself, but I have been severely depressed about the fact that I have depression. So if you can separate, again, medical depression and emotional depression, then it's more understandable, but I'll try to use an example to help you understand. So like if somebody is paralyzed and they are depressed about being paralyzed, or any other physical thing, like you're depressed that you broke your leg, or you're depressed that something is happening. So that is how I feel about having medical depression. Like I am depressed about the fact that I have depression. Throughout my journey, every time I had a major depressive episode, I would, just be waiting to feel better, because there was always a pattern of me being majorly depressed for about 3 to 4 months, usually during the winter months, and then I would get better, and I would always wait for that. And this last depressive episode has shown me that I cannot do that anymore, because I have had this episode for almost 2 years. So the pattern of 3 to 4 months of depression and then feeling better, and then 3 to 4 months again and then feeling better for the rest of the year, then 3 to 4 months, that back and forth has stopped this time. So God is teaching me a different perspective and showing me that I have to approach it differently. And the way that I am attempting to approach it as we are entering the colder months is to address the fact that I'm depressed about being depressed. And since treatment hasn't been working for me over these last 14 years, and my brain just is very resistant to treatment, and I don't know that God is going to heal me in this life, I can address the emotional aspects of how I'm dealing with that long suffering and what it's going to look like to kind of deal with moving forward with having that. So kind of for the same example that I used for somebody being paralyzed, kind of like accepting that you're paralyzed. And it's not like being pessimistic, but it's like, if you're paralyzed, I don't know much about the medical side of what it is to be paralyzed, but basically you're definitely not going to walk anymore unless a miracle happens. But medically and scientifically, or whatever the correct term is, you aren't going to walk anymore. So accepting that, you have to learn how to live your life without being able to walk. So that takes a lot of transitions. It takes a lot of adjustments. And so I'm kind of at a place now where I have to accept that my brain may be paralyzed for the rest of my life while I'm here. And so I'm getting emotional because it's hard and it sucks. But it's encouraging in that people who have been walking all their life and then become paralyzed are able to live their life. They're able to have a fulfilling life. And if I'm never cured, then I want to find ways to still be able to have a fulfilling life. And so I'm going to get off of here because I don't want to just completely unravel on camera. But I just wanted to say that, and that is one of the main things that I have learned in these first 30 days after being 30. And I'm just trying to navigate this new journey and this new perspective of how I want to handle the long suffering and how I want to handle being depressed about being depressed. All right, remember to love always. Bye.